We tolerate no disrespect. Talk with your chest, say what you mean. Fuck what you heard, this is the thing.
Hey. What it do, KHAOS Hi. If you're new around here, my name is Coley, a seen by a subscriber, Asbaz, any one of them three, alright with me. Around here we do commentary, basically. We see shit, say shit, talk shit. You know, a lot of the talking shit, but you know, hey, it is what it is. So there's that. Anyway, it's come to my attention that a lot of people want me to speak on this situation happening with Josh from the Dad Challenge podcast. I'm pretty sure 100% of you know who this person is, but in case someone does not, he has a channel and his main focus is basically anti-mommy family vlogger. I mean, he's just totally against it. And reason being is child exploitation. Children cannot give informed consent whether or not they want to be online. Therefore, he gives it a lot of pushback. He does not like it. He speaks out about it. Well, I have to admit, when he first started his channel, I did not like him. Okay, let's just be clear. I did not like him at all. So I messaged another creator. And that's just how me and said creator actually started talking, period. Because I knew that she supported Josh, right? And I had seen other creators talking about how he was problematic, right? This creator, her name is Camellia. Her channel name is Camellia, but she goes by is Cam. Okay, and she brought this up first, actually. I think she's like the first creator that ever said anything about him, and we're talking over a year ago. So it's been a minute, right? And then Creepshow Art, that dumb bitch, she let somebody come on her channel and basically do the same thing, but also she was friends with this Camellia chick, okay? Anyways, if y'all don't know who Cam is, I'll link her in the description. I love her. I've always been cool with her, even though the creator I messaged about Josh, originally didn't like her. So I was kind of like cool with both of them. Anyway, moving on. So recently, there was a video he posted, and this is what he said. Roll the clip.
There was a youth leader in our church, an adult youth leader, male, okay? Nobody at that church to this day probably knows this, but he essayed a student, okay? Was asked to step down. We sat down at a leadership meeting, okay? Where the lead pastor, executive pastor, the guy who was supposed to establish it, because then the lead pastor can have, plausible deniability, okay? Where he said, look, this went down in this leadership meeting, told all the staff that this had happened. And if anybody from the media comes and talks to you, you don't say a word.
So the issue people are having is that he was in a meeting with people when he was a worship leader, worship pastor, whatever you call him, and he was informed of an essay. He didn't report it, and people think it's fucked up and hypocritical because he has a channel dedicated to, air quotes here, child exploitation, okay? Now, I get that people hate him. Your feelings are valid, okay? I'm not discrediting anyone's feelings. I understand. I'm not telling anyone that anybody's point of view, perspective, whatever, is wrong, okay? Because in my opinion, opinions and perspectives aren't necessarily ever wrong. I mean, that's just the way you see it, and I see it different, right? So, let me explain. Okay, so I grew up in this world of indoctrination, of literally my schooling, my every step of my life, every moment of my life was in a church who was there, and they fucking constantly spewed this shit, and we constantly followed what we're told to do because that's how it works. So I think what's happening is that a lot of people are viewing this from a secular perspective, okay? When you are raised in this type of environment, at the time, things that would seem fucked up to the outside world didn't seem fucked up to people like me or Josh. It's just what it is. And for other people saying, well, you don't have any morals, yes, we have morals. However, you weren't born and raised into indoctrination. You were not. So until you've lived that life and then got out of it and were able to look back on it, you cannot say what you would have done because you don't know, because you've never experienced it. For instance, I've never lost a child, okay? I would never venture to say that I know how a parent feels when that shit happens, right? So I don't think people understand how much control of their people churches have. It's just a fact. Okay? It just is. Anyways, let's listen some more to what Josh had to say, and then we'll continue.
We were threatened. Don't you dare say a word. You ignore it, you send them to me. I'm probably going to do a whistleblower on that. I want to get to the bottom of it, because that was all we ever heard of that, even as a staff.
This is the issue I have right here. Okay? When you say you're going to do a whistleblow, how are you going to whistleblow on some shit you don't know about? So saying that is sus as fuck. Not going to lie. Anyways, let's continue.
And I'm sure it's happened multiple times at the church, and it has in the past, okay? But why would they not tell people? Because they don't want people to leave, right? That's a secret that so many churches have held onto. Catholic Church, churches in general.
Spoiler alert for any Christians who might not have known that. Yes, that is true. That happens. When I was in 7th grade, a coach literally was doing very inappropriate shit with 2 twin girls who were in 7th grade with me. Do you think that anyone told anybody? No, they didn't, because everyone is fucking scared. Now, it has all come out. I think it came out, I want to say, maybe 2 years after those girls actually even left the school. You think that everybody ran home and said something about it? No, you're afraid. And it has nothing to do with you're afraid you might lose your job. No. You're afraid that you're going to be shunned and ostracized from your entire fucking community, your entire life as you know it. So for people on here talking about, he was just scared to lose his job. No, bitch. You're scared to lose your fucking identity. Okay? And until you walk a mile in somebody's fucking indoctrinated ass shoes, don't fucking tell me what the fuck you would have done. Because you don't know. You think I liked knowing this shit when I was young growing up? No. But it was some shit I had no choice in, bruh. A lot of people don't. You don't know what it's like until you've lived it. Unless you were brought up in the same way Josh and I were brought up, and then you've gotten out and can look back on it, don't fucking tell me what you would have done. Because you don't know. You do not know. You don't know the trauma living with that shit actually brings now that you're out of it and you see back and you see the fucking mind control and the brainwashing and shit that went on. You have no idea. Don't speak on a situation and say some shit like, what, you just didn't have any morals or ethics or anything? You just didn't tell anybody? No, bitch, it was different. You can't tell me how the fuck I should have reacted when I was indoctrinated into a cult. Okay? Mind control is a thing. Thought y'all knew. Let's keep going.
So that was one big thing happening. People who go to my church who are watching this might not know that, but there was a kid, and that happened, and all he was asked to do was step away. That's it. I don't know. I'm sure the police got involved. I'm sure it all did really go down, but we didn't. Nobody knew. Nobody knows to this day what happened because the church keeps that shit silent. They keep the scandals silent, and churches should never keep scandals silent, right? Because inherently, people that come to church are sinful, and so you have to own that shit and say, look, this happened, and this is what we've done about it. But people are like, how did this happen? Because your background checks are shitty or whatever the case may be, right? And so they put all these things in place to mitigate this disaster. But when it happens again, they just keep it secret. They keep it secret.
Yes, and it will continue to happen until there is no longer religion, which will never be a thing, okay? So, here's the thing. I understand people do not like Josh. However, it's not okay to think you know what you would have done. Do I think it's okay for him to say he's going to whistleblow on some shit, yet simultaneously saying he doesn't know what happened? Absolutely not. That's fucked. So I am not excusing his words, actions, whatever. I am not at all. I'm not. I just don't like it that people are using secular-ass microscopes to understand some shit that they weren't born into. He went to fucking church from a very young age. He was brought up in it. Do y'all understand what that's like? Please, if you are a person that is watching this, tell me, when you were in a church, if you were born and raised in this situation, okay? Tell me your experience. Did you feel the same fear that I felt? Because I couldn't tell anybody. When I tried to tell somebody about something else that happened with a different girl, you know what happened to me? I got in hella fucking trouble for it. I was in so much trouble because my church and school were run by the same people, okay? Fun fact, now their daughter, okay, that I went to school with, same grade, she now has a huge mega church out in Miami called VU Church, okay? Her and her husband was the one who married Kim and Kanye West. This shit runs deep, right? Y'all have no idea. This is not something you could talk about, actively talk about shit like this when you're in that world. It just isn't a thing. You just can't. Because you don't see it the same way somebody outside of it sees it. So again, until you were raised in this shit, do not tell me how you would react. This has nothing to do with me hating people who don't like Josh. No, I see the fuckery. I see the change in him. I do see it. I do. He was so much different when he started, in my opinion. However, this situation is not something that y'all can say y'all understand. Okay? You just can't, because you weren't in it. You didn't live it. You weren't raised in it, dude. So until you can fucking do that, which can never happen because you can't rewind life, okay? You'll never understand what it's like to actually get out of a cult fucking mentality ass bullshit and then look back and see the fucked up shit you did while you were in it, or experienced, or saw, and didn't say anything. You don't understand what that's like, especially in a religious setting, okay? Also, in the South, where I'm from in particular, this is the Bible Belt, okay? Ain't nobody finna say nothing. Are y'all crazy? Not only would you lose your fucking community, shit, you could lose your motherfucking life down here. No. You don't say shit like this. Now it's shameful. I look back and think, oh my God, I can't believe none of us went and told the principal. But then I remind myself, when I did try, the principal and others, I got in trouble. Big trouble. Now, moving on. So, this past video that we've just been watching, okay, after he started getting heat for this video, okay, a lot of people were starting to talk. I mean, word traveled fast, boy. I was in real time. I was like, goddamn. Like 15 minutes later, we got videos posted. Shit, people are coming apart at the goddamn seams over here. So, he posted this video. Roll the clip.
Something that people went just bananas. They're going to make, all my haters are going to make all the videos they can make about it. So I just want to get out ahead so that you guys can hear with my words what actually happened with this meeting at my church. It's actually a pretty big deal. And so let's talk about it real quick. So I said in the Hillsong documentary that we had a meeting at my church, and this is, I was trying to allude to, a lot of churches have these types of meetings because they go down. Whenever there's a scandal inside of a church, they will have a meeting, because they don't want the staff to talk to the media about these scandals, right? Like any corporation or anything like that, modern churches are like corporations. So I don't know if I was not clear. I mean, I guess not, because people were freaking out. I had some comments, and then I got, obviously, you know, a bunch of people making videos because they just can't, they're just oozing with hatred for me, and they just cannot wait to make a video about me. They're like, oh my God, he's a murderer. We got him dead to rights. No, that's not how this went down. So the meeting at the church was because the person was already removed from the church, was already reported to the police and all the authorities that needed place. People are talking about me being a mandated reporter.
Let's talk about being a mandated reporter real quick, okay? Do I think that he probably fell under the umbrella of mandated reporter? I absolutely do. Do I understand why he did not? I absolutely do. Again, you weren't in it, so don't tell me how you would do it. Thank you. Let's continue.
And all this kind of stuff, and they're making all these allegations against me. It's absolutely not true. So here's how the story went down. I am a worship pastor. I'm not a youth pastor. This was not my department. I had nothing. I had no idea about this until the meeting.
Here's another part I have a problem with. If he keeps coming out saying it wasn't my department, that, I'm sure, is rubbing people the wrong way. Because they're like, well, it doesn't matter if it's your fucking department or not. You should report it. Dude, I am with y'all. I feel what you're saying. I understand the outrage. I understand it. I fucking get it, dude. I understand. Because it sounds crazy to me too, now that I'm not in that world. I feel you. It's like, the fuck? How you gonna preach one thing and do something different? I totally feel you. I cannot stress that enough. Because I know people are not gonna like what I'm saying. However, I do understand it. And I'm not just going to keep using indoctrination as like an excuse. It's not really an excuse. It's a fucking reason. It's the truth. I don't know how else to explain it. It's the truth. A lot of people, if you look into it, a lot of people do shit like this when they're in the cult. And that's what it is. So, is it wrong? Should we have been doing more? Yes. I agree with y'all. I also understand the plight of feeling like you can't. I understand feeling the weight of the world when it comes to your world being in this setting. I understand why you didn't. I think Josh's problem is the fact that he's now backpedaling. He should just came out and said, hey, I should have reported it. I didn't. Also, the whole whistleblowing thing, that's fucked up too. How are you going to whistleblow if nothing happened? I get it. Let's continue.
The meeting comes down. They say, hey, this guy did this thing. I don't even to this day know what it was. They just said it was inappropriate and it's been dealt with. And they said, rest assured, it's been dealt with. The parents have come in. Everything's kind of, legally been taken care of. Because the churches, if anything, want to make sure that they're legally taken care of just for every reason. So we trusted our pastor. We said, okay, sounds good. Looks like you have everything under control. But then he said at the end of the meeting, he said, and if the media comes to you guys, you do not say anything. You come to us with anything that if the media asks you any questions. Because any church, especially a church of my size in any town, if a scandal goes down, it's going to be reported. And to this day, it wasn't reported, likely because it was solved.
Here's the part that's confusing to me. He said it likely wasn't reported because it was solved. But then he said it is reported. I don't know. I'm confused. Let's keep watching.
I was not aware of an essay and didn't report or anything like that. As far as I'm aware, I don't know what happened after it got reported.
But I thought it wasn't reported because it was solved. I'm confused. Wait. We gotta like run it back. Hold on.
Because any church, especially a church of my size in any town, if a scandal goes down, it's going to be reported. And to this day, it wasn't reported. I was not aware of an essay and didn't report or anything like that. As far as I'm aware, I don't know what happened after it got reported.
Somebody gonna have to help me out because the bitch is absolutely confused. He said it was never reported, and then he said it was reported. He said he doesn't know what happened, and then he's gonna whistleblow. I don't understand. Bitch, make it make sense. Hold on. He said likely it wasn't reported because it was solved. And then he said, if a scandal goes down, it's reported. So is he saying that a scandal that happened to be SA didn't go down? So there was no SA because that's why it wasn't reported? If it was just some type of, nothing to be reported. Y'all, help a bitch out here. Okay? I'm confused.
I'm hoping the guy's in jail or whatever the case may be. I wonder if the parents pressed charges. And I also wonder if the parents asked the pastors of the church to keep it quiet because a lot of victims don't want their stories out in the world, which I will never do. I'll never put this person's story out.
You said you'd never put the story out, yet you just said that you were going to do a whistleblow. Y'all, he has me over here confused and he has me over here frustrated because on one hand, I understand where he was coming from. The backpedaling is what is biting him in the ass because I'm confused now. I don't understand. What would you whistleblow on? If you don't know what happened, you don't know who it was, what are you going to say? What's the video going to be when you whistleblow? You're going to be like, I heard that maybe this happened. We had a meeting about it, but we don't know what happened. We don't know who it was. We don't know how old they are. We don't know the person, anything like that. So how are you going to whistleblow if you know nothing? You see what I'm saying? Like, the math ain't mathin', pimpin'. It just ain't. So, anyways, closing thoughts after this.
I don't even know the person. And so partly that is the reason the pastor said, hey, look, it's not your business to put this child's story out to the world. And so that's kind of where we were. And it made sense, right? If we wanted to honor the parents and the victims' wishes to say, you don't just go tell them. If you work at a place and something happens, you don't go just tell the media. And if the media comes talking to us, we were told to talk to the pastors. They never did talk to me. I just want to get ahead of it because I know that every single person that hates me is going to make a video this long about it and how I'm the worst person on earth. But I want to let you know, guys, that it was taken care of. But I want to let you know that there is not an outstanding essay. It's not something I knew that nobody else knew. Nothing nothing like that. I still to this day don't know really what happened, except for that one meeting in that room. So I hope that clarifies everything. It probably won't for all of you who really hate me, but that's okay. I just wanted to make sure that that was clear because I made a community post and I want to make sure everybody sees it because I think you're owed that. So thanks for watching the Dad Challenge Podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow.
So, final thoughts are this, okay? I do understand the outrage. I understand people feeling like it's absolutely mind-blowing as to how things like this, you know what I mean, happen in situations like that. I just really, really, really want people to understand that it's different when you're inside of it, okay? Do I think Josh's methods on things are okay? No, I don't. I am not on here to white knight or defend or whatever when it comes to Josh. This is really not even about Josh. This is just about my perspective into a world that not many people, if any, who are covering this situation have been in. Okay? I grew up in this shit, so I understand the feeling of I can't go tell anyone because I couldn't. Because when I tried, it worked out real bad for me, okay? So I just want y'all to have that perspective. And instead of thinking about the person who just told you this information, try to remember that this person was also in this deeply indoctrinated state of mind when this all went down. Do I think Josh has changed from when he first started, his kind, more compassionate side that seemed like he cared for actual people has changed a lot? Abso-fucking-lutely. Do I support all things that he has done? Hell fucking no. The doxing, the sweeping people under the rug because, you just nothing them, dismissing people's feelings and shit like that. We all know on this channel, I don't like that. I do not like when you dismiss how others feel. I do not like that. It's not okay. Okay, so I'm not defending Josh. I'm trying just to give y'all a different perspective because I understand what it's like. That's all. Okay? That's all. Now, I was going to circle back to the very beginning real quick when I told y'all about, the creator I reached out to, and I felt like he was being, a bully. He was talking shit over, and he wouldn't stop talking about Micah, being mean or whatever. And this said creator did not have a problem with it at all until it fit her agenda. I just want to put that out there because she was all okay with him picking on people before. She didn't have a problem now until she started fucking getting backlash for it. Or until she felt their friendship was no longer beneficial to her. So I want y'all to also remember motives. People have motives of why sometimes they don't like people. I am not talking about Marissa or Bambi or any of the people who've always spoke out against Josh. I'm talking about people who used to be friends with Josh, like Radiant Brit. Okay? Now, she doesn't have any use for his friendship anymore, so she tosses people aside. It's a pattern. It's not something that just came out of the blue and is happening now. It's always been that way. Y'all are just seeing it more now. Okay? So, moving forward, regardless if it's this situation or any other one, remember when you watch a certain creator, even me, remember, everyone in the world has an agenda, has a narrative. Not all of them are unbiased, period. You understand what I'm saying? So, remember, if you watch one video on something, watch many, research it. Don't just believe someone that's telling you something just because they're saying it and because they're your favorite. That even goes for me. Don't just trust everything you hear just because your favorite creator said it. You know what I mean? So, that being said, I love y'all. Thanks for watching. Tell me how you feel, your thoughts, all that shit. And I'll be down there talking to y'all. Love ya. Bye.